Well, it looks like all my little gifts for Halifax are all coming together. Good morning, everybody. It's Stephen here for Bland Designs and the Idiot Quilter, and welcome to my weekly vlog number 314 for May the 15th, 2023. Hard to believe we're halfway through the month of May. And of course, you know, it's coming up in June, at least for Walter and I. We're off to the East Coast for the Canadian Quilt Show and to see the East Coast and drive around. So I'm looking forward to that. That's coming up in only about 2 weeks' time. So yeah, time's going by fast. So in the meantime, I'm keeping myself busy. And what have I been working on? Well, really quickly, let me show you. This is not quite done. In this picture, that's just the top. I had a lot of problems with this quilt, which are things that I'll go over again in Idiot Quilter, but I just want you to see this. Now, since I've taken that picture, I did get it on Lucy, which is my long arm machine, and I did get it quilted, and today I'm going to bind it. So next week, you'll probably see the completely finished product. But as I said, I'll be saying more about this project on the Idiot Quilter tomorrow. And I'll also be saying more about this little cute project, which I did relatively quickly. Not perfect, but it is applique. And I'll talk about the pattern for this. It's one out of a set of 12 to do. But I just felt like cleansing the palette a little bit. I've been a little uptight over the other projects I've been working on and feeling a little overwhelmed. So I took a break and did this. And it's something completely different from what I usually do because I don't do a lot of applique. And I did a little free motion quilting on it. And yeah, so tomorrow I will talk a little bit more about this cute July gnome. And do I have anything else to show you? No, I don't at this moment. So let's go back to me. Okay. So that takes me to the YouTube channel of the week. This one is another channel that's geared towards history, but social history mostly. And it goes down nostalgia's pathway, I guess. So for those of us of a certain age, some of the things that are in these videos will definitely resound with us. So here's what I'm talking about. This week's YouTube channel is one that goes down memory lane, and it's called Retty For History, a nostalgic channel. And this one has a lot of very interesting videos about times gone by. It's great to indulge in memories from back when you were a kid and things like that. So let's just take a look at some of the titles in his video playlist. Summers in the 1980s, bad product names you won't believe, discontinued chips we want back, 1980 things that parents did, things no longer found in the movie theaters, everyday items that have disappeared, discontinued candy, etc. It goes on and on and on, and there's quite an extensive list. It's all very entertaining. It is somewhat informative as well, and it kind of brings up memories from, you know, earlier years, which, you know, as you get a little older, sometimes you like to dwell on nostalgia. So if you're into history, if you're into nostalgia, especially social history and social nostalgia, then check out Ready For History. And as always, you'll find the link for Retty History or Retty For History in the show notes below. You'll find a link for So with Stephanie and Stephen this coming Wednesday morning starting at 9 a.m. And it's, we say that it's only going to go for about 90 minutes, but usually what we've been doing is been running until at least lunch. And there's even been the odd occasion, depending on what I'm doing, what Stephanie's doing that day, it's run for the whole day, so you never know. So it's just an opportunity to catch up on some of your projects and socialize a little bit. Come and go as you please. And speaking of coming and going as you please, special event coming up this coming Saturday, May the 20th, 2023. Starting at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'm having a pop-up sew day. Those of you on my mailing list will have already received or will be receiving shortly an email that has the link for the Zoom pop-up sew day. That'll be delivered to your email box. For those of you that aren't on my mailing list, and I want to know why, why? you should be. You can join us too by clicking on the link that's in the show notes of today's show or the Idiot Quilter or So Chatty later in the week. Lots of places where I put that. Some of you have been, or many of you have been to a pop-up so day before, and you may have saved the previous link, and that previous link will work as I create what they call a reoccurring Zoom link, which means I don't have to change the date and the time. It's just always the same one. So that's this coming Saturday, starting at 8 a.m. Come and go as you please. You don't have to be there at 8 a.m. This means then I'm going to have to figure out what I'm going to be working on that day. Yeah, because I'm a little bit between projects right now. Okay, and then there's links to this past week. So Chatty, that was actually the all rant episode where we talked about our pet peeves. And with the idea not to criticize people, but maybe to give them some insight into how they can solve their issues or things that come up time and time again. There's also a link to Stephen and Walter Live there too, so you may want to take a look at all of those things. Okay, let's turn our attention to what's outside today. And this is looking outside my window today, and it looks like it's going to be another beautiful day. We've had several beautiful days in a row. Temperature was a little cooler yesterday than it was on Saturday, but nevertheless, it was still a beautiful day. And this is looking like it might be shaping up to be the same. You can see that Walter's been doing some yard work. Some of our plants are coming up in the front lawn. Our neighbors have already planted many of their flowers and things like that. They always plant early. The rule of thumb I always heard was don't start planting flowers until the 24th of May. And for us here in our area, they used to say that because we could have frost right up until that date. Usually after the 24th of May, you're pretty safe to put in your plants. However, you never know. It's Canada. You never know. But I love right now the trees at the front of the house have leafed out. I mean, I just love this time of the year when everything is really nice and green and fresh. Because, you know, as we get moving towards June into July, and if it's hot this year, and they're predicting it's going to be, I don't know if that's global warming or just the way the world works, but, you know, things get a little brown. And Walter did put grass seed on the lawn as well. He's trying to keep our lawn as weed-free as possible because here in Ontario, we can't use pesticides. So, you know, if someone's got a crop of dandelions or weeds, like on one side of us, the neighbors on that side, their lawn is green, yes, but it's weeds. And it spreads, you know, around, especially dandelions. I don't know, I think we should just declare dandelions the new green because it's an impossible battle. But anyways, Walter goes out there and fights the good fight. He digs up anything that he sees that's not grass, and he's put grass seed on as well because we have read that if you have a nice thick bed of grass, it chokes the weeds out. They have a little harder time getting a stronghold. I don't know if that's true or not, but anyways, right now it's green, not a dandelion in sight. The trees are leafing out. It's beautiful. So enjoy it while we can, I guess. Okay, but talking about enjoying life. Lately, I've been having some aches and pains. It seems like it doesn't take much for me to hurt myself these days. Am I an old man? Well, some days I do feel like an old man. Sometimes I have to pinch myself and realize that on my next birthday that comes up in the summer, in July, I'm going to be 66 years old. Now, by today's standards, that is not ancient. Okay? There are lots of people out there that are in their 70s, their 80s, and up who are still having very active lives. And I want to be one of those kind of people. And when I say an active life, I'm not necessarily talking about running a quarter-mile track or something like that. I'm talking about keeping in good health, reasonable weight, minimal aches and pains, and keeping my brain active and my hands active. And of course, my hobbies do all of that for me. Could I stand to lose a few pounds? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I've still got the COVID fat. And yeah, I'm thinking to myself, nice day. I should go out for a walk. But I have such busy days. This is not an excuse. This is true. I fill my days. I really do. I keep my day very, very active. I have lists of things I want to do and things I need to accomplish and whatnot. Yes, it's self-imposed deadlines. Okay. But I'm retired. So who else is going to impose them on me? But I like that. I like keeping busy. However, this growing old sucks. Back a couple of months ago now, I was opening a jar. Okay, it was just a jar of something. And I had my hand up here on it, and then I heard, well, kind of like a pop. And I went, oh, that's not good. What did I just do? Well, I can move my arm every which way, so it's not broken. But I think I tore a muscle or whatever's in here. I don't know. Are there tendons in here? Ligaments? I don't know. Or something like that. And my arm was sore. It is still sore. 2 months or so later. Not as bad as it was. There were nights I'd get into bed and it was just the way I was laying. I couldn't get comfortable. It was really, really aching and paining. And this bothered me. Now I take a leave for body aches, and it's fairly effective. But I don't want to become drug dependent. So I only take one Aleve if it's bugging me so much that I just can't get to sleep. So I try really not to do that. And I try to find comfortable positions, and I try not to put too much strain on this arm. But it's there. Now it is slowly but surely, either I'm getting used to it or it is getting better. Now you're going to say, well, maybe you should go to the doctor. No, that's what Walter says. I say no. And the reason I say no is because I don't like doctors. My doctor in particular is a pill pusher, and she loves to send you to specialists and have lots of tests done. I don't even know why she's a doctor, really, because she doesn't do much doctoring. She just does a lot more of referring. And I don't want pills. And I don't want to wait for months and months to see a specialist who's going to say to me, does it hurt when you do this? Yes. Don't do that. Okay? I know maybe I'm being a little ignorant about that kind of thing. But as I said, it's getting better as long as I remember not to, lift something too heavy with this arm. But that really bugs me too, that I have to think about that. When I was a younger man, I didn't think anything of that. I'd lift anything. Yeah, right. I might be sore the next day, but that's okay. And I don't know why my phone keeps dinging. So just ignore that if you could hear that. Anyways, what was I saying? That distracted me completely. Yeah, when I was younger, you knew no pain. You might have been sore the next day, you recovered really quickly. Now you don't recover so quickly, do you? Okay, so fine. So the other day, we were out on the deck having dinner, and we had the umbrella up and everything like that. Well, we decided to come in, and I decided to grab the umbrella and take it apart and bring it back in. We don't usually leave the umbrella, the top part of it, sitting outside. We bring it in. Well, it's an old umbrella, basically, and it's stuck in the part you take apart. So I reached over, gave it a good yank up. Mistake. I pulled something in my back. Yeah, up and about over my top of just below my shoulder blades. Okay. Now, at the time that I did it, I didn't feel anything. I just knew I couldn't do this. Oh, but I felt it that night. Actually, I didn't feel it till the next day. And all day it was kind of throbbing and aching. And I thought, oh God, what have I done to myself now? Anyways, I had a bad night a few nights ago with it. Like to the point where any which way I turned, it just killed me. I took my Aleve. I took 2 Aleves. And that did help. Now, the next day, it was pretty much gone. I was okay. And I thought, okay, fine. And that night, it wasn't too bad. But then the next night, pain again. That was last night. Um, I have a little twinge of pain right now as I sit here in the chair. And what I've been trying to do is sort of stretch it out every chance I get. Oh, that hurt. Don't do that. Okay. So, you know, I did actually to the point where I couldn't really get to sleep last night, and I took a special gummy, and they do help. They do help. Okay. And I feel a little better taking one of those because basically it's organic weed. So, whatever. And it doesn't get you high. It just sort of makes me want to go to sleep. And that helps a lot. So, anyways, it's if my mother was still around and I'd said to her, Mom, I have this pain or that, she'd go, well, Stephen, you don't want to grow old. And she says, yeah, well, you just have to get used to it. That's the way it is. When you're an old man, I look at her, mother, I am not an old man. Well, as you get older, you're going to have these aches and pains. It's just going to happen. Get used to it. I shouldn't have stretched. That kind of hurts still. So, yeah, that's, this whole thing about growing older. I shouldn't let my mind dwell on age. I really shouldn't. I can understand so much better now than when I was younger. And isn't that the way? We become a little wiser, I guess, as we grow with age. I now understand people who are having trouble walking, people who are afraid of falling down, people who, bruise themselves very easily, all this kind of stuff. Yeah, growing old sucks. It really does. Now, what do you do to counter this? I don't know. I know what doctors will tell you. Well, eat right, eat in moderation, watch your alcohol consumption, don't smoke, call me in the morning. Well, I don't smoke. I have cut back quite a bit in the last 6 months or so on how much alcohol I drink. Not that I was a big drinker to start with, but I'd have more than a couple of glasses of wine on the weekends, kind of a deal. And during COVID, we had to get a grip, and I think a lot of people had this problem. It was not unusual for us to drink half a box of wine. And when I say us, I mean me. I made the joke that I had a huge wine glass that would hold a bottle of wine, fill it. Okay, well, I've got that a good control on it now. In fact, now when I have a glass of wine, at the most in the evening, I'll have two. And I don't do that during the week. Rare that I'll have any wine during the week. It's usually, Friday, Saturday night, maybe a little on Sunday. I don't know. A lot of times I just have one glass because here's another thing growing old. It bothers my stomach. Yeah. Gives me a little achy pain down in there. It's like indigestion. Probably is indigestion, stomach acid, whatever. I cut out white wine. I was drinking white wine, and that was really killing my stomach. Red doesn't seem to do that. Another thing about old age. I don't like it. So, okay, watch your alcohol consumption. I don't smoke, never have. Watch what you eat. I don't think I eat a lot, and I don't eat a lot of junk. Well, no, wait. We went to Bulk Barn and bought gummies. Or not gummies, jubes. Love the jube. Sugar, pure sugar. Yeah, let's get rid of that, shall we? Cut back on that. Ice cream. I'm a sucker for ice cream. Now, there was a day and age when I'd sit down with a whole pint of ice cream and just consume it in one sitting. I don't do that now. I forced myself to put it in a bowl. Yeah, I was eating it right out of the container, and there's just that's not good. I put it in the bowl. I watch how much. I'll put a few little chocolate sprinkles on it, though. Yeah, maybe should cut that back too. Okay. But generally speaking, we don't usually have dessert with a meal, although I do love pie. But really, I should be eating more vegetables. I'm not getting enough vegetables in my diet. I know that. There's got to be green on the plate. I mean, we do eat salads because we grow salads. And I'm looking forward to when our container gardens are planted and start to grow, we'll have lots of stuff for salads. So yeah. Um, so I suppose I could watch some of the little things that might be creeping up. I don't drink pop. In fact, I just have water or coffee. Now, coffee, my macchiatos, my caramel macchiatos, yeah, there's sugar in those. Um, Back away from the macchiato. Actually, I have been in the last week or so. The novelty has worn off. I'm just pretty much just sticking to regular black coffee. So, what's the other thing I need to do? Oh, exercise. Yes, I know. That's a hard one. It's not that I dislike exercising. I just dislike the fact that it interrupts my schedule in a day. And yes, I know some people are going to say, well, you have to build it into your schedule, make it part of your routine. Yes, I know that. And I used to exercise when I was much younger and when I was working all the time. I had a treadmill, I had an exercise bike, stuff like that. I don't have any of that kind of stuff anymore, and I don't have any intention of buying it because I have no place to put it, for one thing. Um, I think the best thing would be to take advantage of these nice days and walk. And I had half in my mind. I'm going on a little bit here long. Yeah. Well, you had nothing better to do, right? Um, you know, I just showed you what it looks like outside. I should go out there. I'm up early in the morning. Go out first thing before I even check and look at my email, put in my earbuds, and go for a walk around the block. You know, walking around our neighborhood is about a kilometer or so. Do that in the morning. That would be invigorating. I can take a little travel thing of coffee with me, and just enjoy nature. Well, what if it's raining? Well, you could do it in the rain too with an umbrella, I suppose, depending on how bad it is. Um, do it in the afternoon. Walter and I should do this in the afternoons. Well, he gets his walk. You know, for me, if I don't have a delivery from Amazon, it's a day without sunshine. For Walter, if it's not a day that he's gone off the Canadian Tire, it's not a day with sunshine. So, and that's what he does in the afternoons a lot. So I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. I need to lose weight. I definitely do. So, yeah, this growing old thing sucks. But as I used to say to my mother when she'd say, Stephen, you don't want to grow old, I say, well, Mom, what's the alternative? Think about that one. Anyways, we carry on. Okay, so enough about that. So, new products. Well, let me just see if I can find my picture here. And there it is. I bought this case. This is a travel case for an iPad. I bought it on Amazon. They were about 35 bucks. And actually, it's all padded inside, fits my iPad beautifully, but it also has an extra pocket inside where I could put my Bluetooth keyboard if I take that on a trip. And there's a pocket on the front to hold cables and other accessories and your buds and everything like that. I think this is going to work out really well. It's a very nice material that it's made of. It's got the shoulder strap, which comes off, so you don't have to use it. It has a short handle if you'd prefer with it. So yeah, and I purposely bought it for traveling. I have another case, but it wasn't really made for the iPad that I have now, and it's a little crammed and I can't get anything else in it. This solves that problem. And it'll fit into my carry-on if I'm flying. So this was my latest purchase this week. Now, I did last night purchase some things on experiment. I don't know if you've heard of it, but it's this new Chinese version of Amazon called Temu, Temu, and it's all over the YouTube. Everybody's reviewing it and talking about it. Supposed to be things are supposed to be cheap, but there's a large variety. Well, of course, they're all knockoffs or things like that, I think primarily. But I was watching one YouTube review of it last night, and I thought I'm going to give it a try because it was free shipping. I don't know if it always is, but it was free shipping here in Canada. And so I bought a few essential sewing items that I use all the time. I bought some clips in 2 different sizes. I didn't buy that much. I bought something else in the sewing line. And I can't think what the, oh, I bought some fabric. I know this is going to be crap because I think it was 50 pieces for $3.98. Okay. But I thought just as a lark, I'm going to try this and just see. I have seen some people review on YouTube buying fabric, and some of them say it's not too bad. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see. But anyways, when I get my now it says delivery isn't particularly fast. It's not like having Prime on Amazon. It says my stuff's coming May the 28th. And if it doesn't arrive by May 28th, they give me a $5 credit on shipping through um, Canada Post. So I don't know. We shall see. This is an experiment. Oh, I also ordered a strip of outdoor LED, colored LED lights, um, just to see what that's like. So anyways, that's what I've been up to in terms of purchasing things. So, update on the grow lights. Let me just see my picture here of them. I got them a little bit out of order. Okay. This is grow light number 1. You can see the new crop of lettuce is coming along very nicely, and the basil's doing well. We do have an empty pot over here. Got to get something planted in that. Actually, I'll talk about what I could plant in that next. But let's go over here. Here's grow light number 2. Now you can see this lettuce is older. This one's starting to go. It's bolted a little bit, so we need to clean that, cut that back, and maybe put in some more seeds. We got some new stuff coming up here, and this is sort of semi-new old. There's a little bit of dead growth in there too to clean out. Onions here. We've had some of these green onions. They're doing very well. And here's the jungle, our tomato and green pepper plants, and you can see they're doing pretty good too. And we do have, there's lots of tomatoes coming on. We've had a few of them. This variety of tomatoes are a little weird. I don't know if I particularly like them. There's different varieties in here, but these darker ones you're seeing, they are actually dark inside. They taste fine, but they put me off a little bit on their color. But it's just the variety. And you can see we've got green peppers. We have yet to pick one, but I think we're going to break down and grab one of the biggest ones. And there's more in behind in there too. So everything's coming along fine. Somebody was asking us yesterday whether when we're going to start putting in our container garden. That's going to be a little later this year. Because usually Walter starts, well, in around now or in the next week or two. But because we're going to the East Coast for a couple of weeks, and there'll be really nobody here to keep them watered, and they're in a very sunny part of our deck, and they'll dry out very quickly, we're going to put it off until we come back from the East Coast. That means things will be a little slower coming on, but we've got our lettuce, we've got green peppers, we've got tomatoes under the grow lights, so, and that's what we'll be growing outside, plus a few other things, and so we'll be fine. Now, this is an experiment. I saw it on YouTube. This is the end of a celery stalk that I bought at the grocery store. This YouTube video said if you took it, shaved off a little at the bottom, and put it in water and change the water every other day or so, it will start to grow. Well, guess what? It's starting to grow. And I've got roots at the bottom too. So now I'm thinking, okay, I think it's getting to the point now where it probably needs to be put in soil. So that's what I was saying about that other pot. I'll have to talk to Walter today and see if he'll let me put it in that. And we'll see how it does under grow lights. It would be nice to be able to grow your own celery. And like I said, so far, this seems to be working. And all it was a stalk of celery from the grocery store. And that end part, I just cut it off and set it in a dish of water, put the toothpicks in it, as you could see, to hold it up properly. So, yeah. I'm just loving this botanical experimentation. Yeah. Okay, so that takes me to the 3D corner. I am thinking of buying, and let me see if I can get this up here for you. I don't have any, well, okay, let me back up. My 3D printers have been going nonstop, making my gnome accessories for sewing. I've got a bunch of gifts I want to give, and I'm getting them more organized, and so that's what they've been working on primarily. However, I would like to buy, and here's what I'm talking about. I would like to replace the extruder on 2 of the printers. I've already done this on one and as an experiment, and it's working really good. And this was what I bought. This is a direct drive extruder. Usually your filament goes through a plastic tube called a Bowden tube, and then down into the heating element, and that's how it goes through. But what happens is your Bowden tubes do wear out fairly regularly, and you have to replace them. They're not that expensive. You usually buy it by the meter or a couple of meters, and it's easy enough to do. However, with a direct drive, you eliminate the Bowden tube. It goes directly through the motor system. The way it's set up, you can see it set up on what looks like a fan below. Well, that's the hot end where the nozzle is, and that's the motor that pulls the filament through into the hot end and the extruder. So I'm thinking, I like it. It's working really well on the printer I put on it. I've had it now for a couple of months. So I may invest in another 2 of these and convert the other 2 machines over with it as well. Now, I didn't think, though, I paid this much for it at the time. $58.99. Interesting. That may have gone up in price. That it does happen. I may have paid that. I don't know. So we're, I haven't bought these ones yet for those machines, but I probably will in the next week or so, or whatever. So that's all I have to tell you about the 3D printers. Upgrading your 3D printers, yeah, a lot of people do this. It's part of the hobby, really. And yeah, I'm fairly confident. I've put one of those in that I just showed you, one of those extruders in, so I know how it works, and I'm pretty sure I can do it with the other 2. So that's something in another couple of weeks that I want to do. Maybe wait until we come back from the East Coast. Okay, that takes me to Blast from the Past and Trips. This is the 2016 trip to New Zealand and Australia, and this is Tasmania and kangaroos.
This place is called what? Where we saw
Bonarong Wildlife Sanctuary.
The Bonarong Wildlife Sanctuary, and here they rescue kangaroos and wombats and what else is
Tasmanian devils
and lots of other things too. And they try to return some of them back to the wild, but they look after them. They have a hospital here. If they've been hurt, they try to heal them.
You love that? There you go. There's some more for you. Yeah. Oh, you're very cute. You are. Do you want me to pitch under there? Do you like that? Do you like that? Does that feel good? Yes, you're very cute. You are. You're very, very cute. You are.
Good, you're on video.
Yeah, I got part of it too. So cute. So cute you are.
I'm sure they look like to me you're just well fed.
So Walter's petting a kangaroo. I just fed him. They're so gentle. Guess they like being pet on their chest because they can't reach that spot. But I think these guys are very well fed.
He just had a turd.
Oh, did he? You got him all excited. Okay.
Good night.
Look at all of them. Oil everywhere. They're just loving it. And there's also a lot of kangaroo poop right under my feet right now too. Need more food for them.
Hey, buddy. You like this?
Hello.
You would, huh?
No, it's okay. Oh, you're taking it.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah, I know. He's moving about.
You still got more food?
Oh, look at him. Isn't he cute? Little Tasmanian devil.
Wow.
Yeah. Emus? Emus.
Like a three-headed thing.
Yeah, I know. Nobody feeding you guys?
No, I wouldn't.
No, emus aren't. Just for a little more food. So you got food for me? You got food for me?
Как были сами себе предоставлены все, там, все для нас. Ну, да, и ты
Oh, you have one.
у нее носик такой, как локатор. Она этим носиком на глубине очень слышит насекомые или где-то муравьи.
So this is a tawny frogmouth, and he's looking very bored right now. Everybody's taking his picture.
Ну все, он терял к тебе интерес.
Hello. I don't have nothing to eat. Oh, you got food there. Wow.
Пойдем, наверное, в школу и как все. You can go up to a metre in length and go up to 40 kilos or 90 pounds. So, yeah, it should only be about 7 to 10 kilos.
She's got it.
They will turn absolutely obnoxious. And we keep them, it's got 300 square. Darling, it's got. Tar, it's got.
What about the kangaroos? They're so friendly and
The
adorable.
kangaroos have been here a long time. This has been a sanctuary wildlife. But they're not at the moment, but when they turn naturally wild, I'm the first one they bite. Trust me, I know. I mean, even as babies, when they play, they still bite you. You still get bruised and battered and torn. You want to go down with your sister? Go down.
I'm kennelled. I want to go home to my sleep.
No, they live under the ground. And these two have just realised that they can burrow. They found a nice soft spot just behind that log, which is a real shame because nobody can see what they're doing back there. But they've just realised that, oh, we should be digging. So they're, hello, Jude.
I'll come back around later.
So that takes me to events in the past week. We got our 6th vaccination shot for COVID. We got a thing on our email from the government saying we were due. We made the arrangements with our local Shoppers Drug Mart. Easy peasy. They're getting better at this, for sure. Well, they should. I mean, this is shot number 6. So I was wondering, is this going to be an annual thing now? Just like we get a flu shot every year, will we be getting a COVID shot every year too? I have a feeling, yes, that's probably what's going to happen. And that's okay. You know, keeps me healthy, then fine. What else? Ooh, well, we had campers in the backyard. 'Tis the season. From now until about the end of June, every weekend there'll probably be kids groups that'll be, you know, camped out in the back 40 of Camp Samac, the property right behind my house, which is a Boy Scout reserve. And that's okay. But now we can see them. I told you a couple of weeks ago that while we were away on the West Coast, they cleared out a lot of the underbrush and the dead trees and stuff. And now it's looking a little bare. And we can see right into where they're camping in the whole bit. We've got a front row seat to the outhouse. Well, it's a ways away. It's not like right on our property, kind of up against it. But yeah, we weren't able to see that before. It's a nice outhouse. I don't know what it looks like inside, never been in, but it has electricity. I know that because we can see them put on the lights. And I have a feeling it's, you know, a modern outhouse. I don't know if there's actually a hole in the ground or it's chemical toilets or what it is. But anyways, yeah, it's not bothering us. The neighbors next door are a little uptight. They don't like being able to see over there, so they're adding to their decorative trellises, putting fencing in between them that they had at the back as a screen. So yeah, but for us, it's not bothering us at all. We can see the wild turkeys in the morning, in the afternoon, and we do have wild turkeys. And the other night we had a couple of bunnies come visit us as well. There's lots of those, and there's other things that go bump in the night out there too. Yeah, that like to munch on things at night. Okay, but I said that we've been sitting out on the deck when the weather's nice, and Walter made pizza last night for dinner. Well, not last night, Saturday night. He made pizza, but he made pizza on the barbecue. He made his own dough. He made thin crust pizza. We have a pizza stone, and we have something called, I have found, it's called I would have called it a pizza paddle. You know, those big fat things you lift the pizza out of the oven with, kind of a deal. Well, this one's stainless steel or something. Walter got it at Canadian Tire. It was on sale. That's the operative word, on sale. And it's called a pizza peel. So Walter mixed up his dough. It was a yeast dough and everything like that. And let it do its thing, rise and everything. And then he made 2 pizzas. And he put different things on both pizzas. And he cooked them on the barbecue. And you have to get the barbecue up to about 550, 600 degrees Fahrenheit. And it does a wonderful job. the pizzas were delicious. I could not tell those pizzas were made on a barbecue as opposed to being done in a restaurant in a wood-burning fire pizza oven. That's how good they were. So that's a keeper. Okay. Walter's always experimenting with new and exotic things to make. Well, they're not that exotic, but they're just fun. And yeah. So, and I do love pizza. It's one of my favorite food groups. So I have a feeling this summer we're going to have more pizza on the barbecue. Yeah. Okay, and what else? So I do have a little video. I just about forgot it. I have a little video I'm going to insert in here of Walter's Pizza. So, of course, I'm sure you can identify what this is. Yes, this is pizza. This is the raw dough, of course, that Walter has laid out, and he's got ingredients all over the counter. But what makes this really interesting is how Walter is cooking it this time. He bought a new tool very recently at Canadian Tire. He bought this big paddle. And that big paddle is so he can do, reveal please.
Hang on for a sec. In a sec.
Oh, why you got this timed right down? There we go. Pizza on the barbecue is what he's doing. We have a pizza stone. We've had a pizza stone forever, but that's to get it off. So this is sort of an experiment. We're going to see how this all turns out. So pizza number one has come hot off of the barbecue. There it is. Why? It's almost like an oven, wood oven, or what do they call those for pizza? Wood fire. And what do we have on this one? We have mushroom, pepperoni, something green, cheese. What's the green stuff? Basil?
Basil.
And what? Sun-dried tomatoes, you said?
Yeah.
And olives, black olives. Looks delish. So Walter's now making pizza number 2. And what's on pizza number 2?
Ham, sun-dried tomatoes, green pepper.
Is the green pepper from our...
No, it isn't.
No, we haven't tried our green peppers yet.
I don't know. I can't remember.
No. Okay, so this is old person's memory loss
sun-dried
pizza.
Tomatoes.
Oh. And he's watching his watch. How long is it supposed to take to cook? There it is. It's coming along.
6, 7 minutes, 8 minutes, whatever.
And how hot's the barbecue supposed to be at?
Around 550 to 600.
Burn 1. And we have it on a pizza stone. We've had the pizza stone for years. And...
It's my first attempt at doing it on a barbecue.
Uh-huh. Something new.
And everything.
Yes, Walter made the dough himself as well. So this is definitely pizza from scratch that we're having here. Next thing you'll know, he's going to want a wood-burning stove. Hello. So there they are. The 2 pizzas made from scratch, done on the barbecue.
So one's a little bit, one's not too round.
They're rustic. They're rustic. Doesn't matter. It's the taste that counts. So, in a moment or two, we are going to find out what these taste like. Okay, so we're sitting out on the deck. We have our drinks, and Walter's taking... How's that first bite, as they say at a restaurant?
Pretty good.
You like that?
A little charred on the bottom, but...
A little charred on the bottom? I don't know. Well, let me take a bite and see how this is. That's quite good. It tastes just like what you get in a restaurant. So, I think that little experiment works. We'll have to do this again. And we've got a couple of dinner guests tonight. Mr. and Mrs. Bunny here in the backyard. Probably going, when are you people going to get your tomatoes out here? We want a snack. Because they do enjoy our vegetables. Oh, they're so fluffy. They're big fat ones too.
One smaller than the other one.
Well, one might be the female, one might be the male.
Mm.
Okay, so what's coming up? Well, we have a friend coming over for dinner on Thursday night. It's it's not actually his birthday, but his birthday sometimes this month, and I never can remember when. This is the fellow that we used to always get together every Thursday or every other Thursday night for. He'd come over, bring his laundry. We were kind of helping him out. He moved out on his own. Okay, he is a 44-year-old man. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot more to the story. I'm not going into it. But anyways, we sort of stopped the Thursday night thing because, well, it was getting boring. And we've been doing it for a long, long time. Yeah. Like, we've known this guy for 20 years. Anyways, he's kind of a loner type of person and everything like that. And I just thought it might be nice to do something for his birthday. I usually do every year, anyways. So if he'll come over, we'll have dinner. I don't know. We're just going to do something on the barbecue. Hopefully it's a nice night because we can sit out, have a couple of drinks. In his case, it'll be more than a couple. He's a big boy and he drinks quite a bit. But that's okay. And maybe make pizza. I don't know. I haven't talked Walter into that yet, or hamburgers, something like that. And just socialize. And I got to go out and get him a gift this week. Probably get him what I get him every year. I usually put together a little gift bag. He likes Belgian beers. He likes weird beers. He likes to try those. So I usually get like a 6-pack of 6 different cans of beer and maybe throw in some like munchy things, cocktail peanuts or something that goes with it, kind of a deal. And we'll get a cake somewhere, or maybe some, instead of a cake, probably some fancy cupcakes. I'm not a big fan of cake. I don't hate cake, but cake is one of those things. If it's pie, I devour it. If it's cake, yeah, I can sit on the counter and go to rot, kind of a thing with it. So that's coming up. Already mentioned Pop-Up Sew Day this coming Saturday, May the 20th, 8 a.m. start, but you can come at any time. It doesn't matter. Links in the show notes. And yeah. So that's it for me this week. I think this one was kind of long, sorry. But you didn't have anything better to do, did you? Really? Except listen to me? Come on. Okay. I hope you have and I hope all the mothers out there had a great Mother's Day yesterday as well. Almost forgot to say that. So, yeah, what's the next major event? Father's Day in June sometime. Yeah. When your parents are gone, you kind of forget about what these things are all about, especially when you're not a parent yourself. Boo-hoo. Okay, that's me. I'm done. Bye-bye. Have a great week.